You're giving him the ability to just get himself a buffed up teacher if you won't kill it right away.
Yeah, well, we'll be seeing a mirror match. Well, maybe not mirror because there's a sludge belcher.
Well, a lot of versions have looked similar. Some players play more.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Hyped has Kel'Thuzad.
Okay, so this is a value rogue.
This is a huge card. The thing is, I don't know how good it's gonna be. I mean,
So
in the mirror match, it might come down to that.
we can try to guess the cards, right? There will be many death rattles. Most likely.
I would bet Shredders. I mean, he could even be playing Sky Golems.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I could see Sky Golem in this deck.
So,
Oh, man.
well, Dr. Boom will be there for sure. Like turn 7 Dr. Boom into turn 8 Kel'Thuzad to sacrifice the bombs and get them back. But still, it's not like this type of rogue might be very similar to a mech mage, and you know, rogue is not bad against a mech mage because
Right.
you can clear the board easily.
So if this turns out to be a Mech Mage similar, like a deck that's akin to Mech Mage, then Kolento could have a pretty decent play. Like a decent chance of this fight here. Well,
So
I
you
think
just
Farseer's a
draw
bit weak
the
to
Farseer.
deadly.
It is weak to deadly, but you don't want to sacrifice the coin
For just a Shredder.
because
I
you
think
have a
Earthling Farseer
shredder.
is okay.
Yeah, you have a shredder into belcher, into whatever you will draw in the next 3 turns, and then you can coin out Kel'Thuzad if the board is right.
I'd like to see a Trogzor.
Oh, sprint? Do you sprint this turn? 3?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
gonna
you
be on
do.
9 cards.
Yeah.
Why not? You can even, if you don't find that, you can't play deadly, so you're just gonna backstab trade if you want to.
Oh, that's the
Or-
second back, so definitely. Oh, maybe you can afford to wait 1 turn.
Can you? I mean, what if there's a massive prep play with like triple tinctures and quadruple deadly poison with infinite eviscerates?
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, but it's totally possible. Am I right?
Yeah, okay, if you say so. You're the gimmick player with all those decks, so you know better. I bet there were like 10 low walker shows running
Yeah.
around that game.
Yeah, I actually have a problem getting rid of them in my apartment right now. I have like 17 low walker shells hiding but like under furniture. Whenever I cast sap on my neighbor, she just comes back nonstop. She keeps sapping me and then I sap her back. Never stops. Well, this is kind of a weird turn. It's gonna be Belcher versus Belcher.
Yeah, Belcher versus Belcher, but there's one sap, and there's another sap. So do you... Oh, I like this. But do you want to
I'm
sap?
gonna downsize you.
So the problem with Galawix
Oh man.
in the rogue matchup is that you can give your opponent a one turn lethal
With the coin, yeah,
with the
insta-kill.
coins, and that's that's like a double-edged sword, you know. It can be
Correct.
really great or really bad.
Am I just hallucinating here, or does Kolento have a pretty bad play if he doesn't sap anything? I mean, you can't really play the Drake on this board.
Well, you have to sap.
Yeah, but that's kind of awkward because the only follow-up you've really got is
Eviscerate
yeah.
and
Oh
dagger
my
up.
goodness.
That's not a position you want to be in.
Well, you can Drake Eviscerate next turn and possibly deal with the Belcher as a whole if it comes back down. But this is gonna be a
Well,
trade
now-
Prince Galliwix, 100%
Yeah, I think
of
so.
the time.
And he even kills a Belcher if he needs to.
Oh
so
man, that
wind will
5/8.
slam. Dread Prince Galawix. I didn't hear the music right now, but that was something like this, right?
Yeah, he does play music. It's one of the most awesome battle cries, so to speak. Well, the good thing is Kolento could get downsize here. He has to play Drake backstab eviscerate, but I mean, yeah, it can't feel good. Oh man, that's an
So-
exact kill on Trade Prince, and he gets 2 coins back, you know, so it's not that horrible. I don't know.
I think you have to do it. Blade Flurry. Doesn't change anything.
That's got to feel awful, but at the same time, you're getting yourself coins, so Let's not complain. Those are combo initiators for the future, or the ability
Yeah,
to,
but
you
the
know, put bigger
eviscerate,
tinkers.
that's something you don't want to give the other rogue, you know?
Yeah, definitely not. Giving him more damage. Basically giving him more
Oh,
ability
look.
to win the game outright.
That's
Yeah,
a double pair.
that's a good
So,
You go all
Belcher
in.
into
You just go all
Eviscerate?
in.
Yeah. By all in, you mean Belcher and Eviscerate.
Yeah, that's exactly it. you bet your entire mana pool.
Well, Sap seems to be quite good too. 3, 6, 9 cards, so
yeah,
he will be
he's
overdrawing one.
That could be funny. I don't know if it's an optimal line of play, but it's definitely one you can consider. Problem is, 2 of those cards are gonna get removed right away because he's just gonna
So
coin.
you will have no mill value from that Sap in late during the upcoming turn. So if you want to do it, you have to do it this turn. And
I don't dislike it. I just don't know if I really want to let my opponent cycle his rogue deck versus my rogue deck.
well, he knows that there's a Belcher because he sapped it once. So I think you want to keep the sap for the Belcher being played second time. Because it's like gaining 6 points of mana over your opponent, so it's almost like a free turn.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Quite nice. That's an understatement. There's no AoE right now in Hype's hand. If
Well,
that
Hype
Violet
will
T-shirt comes
get,
out,
like,
he goes.
2 more draws. Free.
Yeah.
The backstabs will have so much value right now.
Yeah, this is insane. Those backstabs dealing 3 damage.
Well, maybe you just skip the second one and you use
Eviscerate?
No, wait. You use Drake,
Eviscerate.
backstab, eviscerate, backstab. Oh,
The return of Tempo Rogue.
so do you? I think you sap again, right?
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
could sap
Yeah,
and just
you-
get damage in and force him to replay that Belcher once.
And then you
more.
have the Black Knight and you just kill the Belcher.
Oh man, and the worst part is Kolento is forced in the position of having to play the Belcher, because otherwise there's way too much incoming damage.
Well, you know what I'm interested in? If Hype is even playing oils or deadly poisons here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. I haven't seen any, but he's playing Blade Flurries, right? No, he's not. I haven't seen any.
We didn't see any. And
It's Tempo Rogue.
he was
the
thinking
return of-
about attacking with the dagger right now, and when he does something like this, like he's thinking about squeezing squeezing 1 point of damage, when there will be most likely no mana left to redagger, I think he just doesn't play those cards.
That's gonna be a really nice turn for Kolento.
50,
get a
50 to hit
deadly-
it.
No, he's just gonna get a perfect Blade Flurry here. It's just insane.
Oh, holy!
That's a board wipe. And now Hype needs to find an answer to this, and I just don't see any on his hand right now. And that Belcher, you know, the value he wanted to extract out of that Black Knight is not going to be able to be found. And Kolento's hand is still pretty rife with options.
So Prince Galawik's kind of backfired now.
Yeah, those coins are just devastating. Oh, wow, what a whiff.
So you have to play Drake and draw into not this. So you eviscerate Violet Teacher and backstab the 4/1, kill 1/1, and you redagger. Right?
You backstab what? You have to kill, yeah, the 4-1 with the Tinker
Yeah.
Shark Sword, okay. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward turn, but it would have been easier to handle. Then again, you look at Kolento's board.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and he's got pretty good options, but Hype has more minions. So if that Belcher comes
Well,
down...
there's a Drake. There's a Drake, so you can play Drake and throw backstab. No, we played 2. Oh, never mind.
Do you consider Lothar right away?
I think
Because you
Kolento
can't
will
deal with
play.
those...
I think Kolento will play the Lothar just to deny the spell power
with the Drake, yeah, since you can't kill it.
advantage. Yes, you won't kill it anyway, and you deny any kind of spells basically too. Little he knows that Hype
What
has
about Fan
no
of Knives?
spells.
What about Fan of Knives, Hero Power? You just dagger up and set up for a potential next flurry. That
So
deals
you
2 damage to the Drake.
sacrifice 2 1/1s.
Yeah.
You know there's no AOE in Hype's hand, so you do you want to sacrifice those? I don't think so.
We'll see what he does. He could sacrifice just 1 by taking damage. It's also an option, but I don't think you can afford taking that 4 damage at this point. Every point of health counts at this stage of the game. Well,
So
there's not a bad
Oh.
play here. Well, Dr. Boom Edwin, because you know
Yeah.
why not?
Dr. Boom
That
seems kind of nice, but it will be met with a Blade Flurry next turn.
What if you just Earthling Farseer, Shredder, Edwin? Isn't that's a bit stronger, but you're also super vulnerable to Blade Flurry again. You're getting a 6/6 Edwin, which is not too bad, but maybe you don't even play Edwin here. And you
So
just
just
Earthling
kill-
Farseer instead. Because Blade Flurry with Deadly Poison would still kill your Edwin, and it would kill your Earthling. The problem is you're
Yeah,
not
you're
getting
right.
health back.
Yep. Farseer
Shadow
seems to be
War.
better here.
We'll see what he opts for. I think both are kind of fine, or you could keep the Farseer for a future Edwin combo, and force your opponent to use an AoE on a 1 minion.
Mm-hmm. That also seems like a valid play.
You have to be very, very afraid of another Blade Flurry, though, and he exactly is afraid of that, so he's gonna be healing himself up just a little bit.
Oh. So now it gets to 4, 5, 6 points of damage with Blade Flurry, right?
Yeah, but what if Blood Mage fails? Yeah, the Blade Flurry is gonna, you're gonna have to combo this, so you might have to go for Shredder first. And
What
then
about-
Tinker's Blade Flurry, so you can't get a spell damage.
Yeah.
That's kind of the drawback of this this line of play.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
If he goes
Uh-oh.
for the Belcher, this will be heavily punished.
It will be punished, and that reminds me of the olden, the days of Tempo Rogue. I remember those decks that were... The thing is, they relied heavily on Deadly Poison to maintain the early board control, but I haven't seen any in Hyped. I would be surprised if he's not running at least the Deadly. But then again, maybe he's just going for a no dagger, not dagger reliance strategy.
He goes for the Shredder. Yeah, he goes for the safe play. No, he goes for the Belcher. Wow.
Well, at least there's not gonna be a board wipe, but this Black Knight is gonna...
What about Kel'Thuzad here?
Well, actually, wait, can you really afford that? Wow, I like
wow.
this. This is Tempo Rogue. 100% Tempo Rogue.
So
You have to clear
can-
this board. You have to.
yeah, you
clear
have
it.
to. But do you play Kel'Thuzad? Because you get
You
get
can't.
the
You can't
But
wipe the
it's so
board if you play
sweet.
KT.
yeah.
I don't.
But it'll feel so good, I think. So you now attack into the slime and sacrifice first bomb, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have this. This entire board needs to get. Away.
Oh, that's
Wow.
unlucky.
That's a pretty big whiff. Hyped is gonna have to get pretty lucky with that second bomb. He's gonna have to attack the Drake with the bomb and then attack with a 3/3 to kill Lothar. This is the only way you can guarantee a board wipe. You can't let that Tinker Sharp Sword have a body to use. Oh man.
That was very unlucky with that bomb.
Well,
So,
Hyped's board is looking pretty convincing.
it will be met with the Blade Fury now for sure. And second
good
time
is
bomb
it?
for 1 point of damage. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, but still, he's got the board, and I really like his board position right now. It's pretty hard to contest this entire thing. I mean, even Tinker's Sharp Sword, sure, it does what it has to, but
So
you're still
you
left
have
with that
to-
Shredder God.
No, you won't, because Kolento will attack into the Piloted Shredder, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to attack into it, so you're.
Oh,
stuck
sorry, I
with it.
misunderstood. Never mind.
Yeah. No
Oh,
problem.
he goes face.
And he's going for the full board clear, hoping to reach for lethal before his opponent can actually do it himself. And he finds a Master Swordsmith. That is not much. It's going to kill the Blood Mage, but ultimately not do much else. But there's a great Kel'Thuzad play with the Defias Ringleader, which I never thought I would ever say in my life.
That's the first time I actually hear that sentence.
I think it's the last one as well. I don't even know if I'll see this deck again. It's super awesome, but I just don't expect to see it tomorrow when I wake up.
And there's, like, that board will threaten so much damage because it's 1, 7, and 11, 17 points of damage. That's lethal next turn.
Yeah,
and
that's
plus
lethal.
1 from the Swordsmith, so that's 18 points of damage next turn. Wait, what?
He's going for the BGH Defias Ringleader Edwin.
That's
That's backstabbable.
Oh wait, I miscounted. Never mind. That's not lethal.
Yeah, he
for
doesn't
the
have
Drake,
lethal
does it?
next turn,
No.
actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I just calculated. He actually doesn't have enough mana. He's going to have to go
Yeah.
for the Edwin play as a 6/6. Try to get himself the biggest possible Van Cleave. Hope there's no AoE left. He's seen 2 flurries. All that could remain is a possible single Fan of Knives, I think. And now Hyped has got to hope that his opponent draws pretty dead. However, this is not a completely dead draw. In fact, it's a pretty good board.
And you heal yourself even. That's really great outcome here. So now you have to play Kel'Thuzad, of course, because that's basically the only card you have in your hand. Even if you draw something bigger, right?
I mean, I could see this game being over depending on... the top deck.
So that's
It's a great draw.
enough.
No, that is a
Almost lethal.
great draw, though. Never mind the lethal at this point, sadly. You have to play the defensive game again. It's not something you want to do. You check for Doomsayer, maybe, first, in case that's a thing. And... oh, man. That 2-drop needs to be a dry draw. It has to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, things could get out of control. And it is... a Murloc. Wow, you want to talk about a dry draw?
It didn't really matter if it's 3-2 or 2-1.
2-1,
You
yeah.
still sacrifice the 2-2.
Yeah, but you take less
right,
damage.
with Defias. No, you don't take any damage because you can't kill the other creatures with your face anyway. So
You have
the outcome would be the same. You sacrifice the Defias for a 3-2, an example. It would be really bad if that would be something with 3 points of health.
Well,
That
don't
would
you just
be
attack
disastrous.
the 3-3 with your face and the 2-2?
I don't think so. You just sacrifice the...
No, you kill a 3-2. You can't let the bigger attack minion get potentially 2 attacks. Otherwise, I think that's a
Okay,
recipe
maybe you're
for
right.
disaster. And we're gonna see what he finds. It's a sap. That's going
That's
to
not
deny
bad.
the KT. Well, it's for Kolento, it's pretty good. You got a Vile Teacher sap, and I mean, how close to dead are you? Pretty much not at all.
And you
Yeah, clean
deny
kill.
the resurrection of the Edwin Van Cleef, which would be 2-2, so it's not like a big threat, but you deny some value here.
Yeah, you're giving yourself the ability to clean this board pretty effectively, and now Hyped again on the back foot.
So what has to hype? What is the draw that Hyped will benefit the most?
Sap, I think. But it doesn't even have one left. He's already sapped 2 Belchers. I don't think he's got anything left.
Sprint. Oh wow.
Sprint.
So we don't know the deck that Hyped is playing, so we can't really even guess what can be the draws that you can get of Sprint that will be better than just dropping KT.
Earthering Farseer, perhaps, but that's not better, unfortunately. I still think, regardless of what happens here, you have to go for KT. Attack into that 1-1. I mean, it's such a... depending on what he's got in this deck, we don't know anything about the follow-ups.
Well, he goes for the Sprint most likely, so he knows
He's got
better.
an anti-heal bot. That could be a big
That's,
draw.
Fan of
And
Knives.
Oh!
Well,
for the
he
next
can't play
turn.
that.
Well, you
So,
backstab that
backstab-
3. That's enough to kill this.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
That's gonna buy him a turn. Or 2 even more than that. 4 almost, depending on what Kolento does. And the heal bot! And there it is, the card that he was fetching for the next turn, and
Fan of
Kolento
Knives
now.
into Eviscerate, but he used both, right?
As far as I'm aware, yes, that prep is a
that's
whiff.
That's a
Not
whiff.
prepared at all. Unless he plays Illidan, I don't see him really getting any value out of that preparation. And now, Hyped is going to be swinging back in this game thoroughly with anti-heal bot and Ascendant Shieldmaster for an almost guaranteed win. Unless Kolento pulls off something absolutely out of this world.
I don't know why. I don't know what can you do.
Deathwing!
Oh yeah, okay.
It's always the Deathwing. It's always the Deathwing. When in doubt, shout Deathwing. And Kolento concedes he doesn't play Deathwing, obviously, otherwise he would have not given up. So he gave information to his opponent, and Hyped is very happy about that last play here. I mean,
That
Hyped
was a
must be pretty
coin.
happy about winning that first rogue game, right? That way your opponent has no information. This is the first time you run into it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely something you want to do with that type of deck. And now Kolento has to be really, really happy about having the coin, especially that agent and the backstab. Basically, the old type of rogues, it allowed you to trade for a Yeti or another 5 HP minion. So that's one
With
of
the
the
dagger.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the most important draws you can have. Now it's kind of diminished by the amount of piloted shredders in the metagame, but still it's not bad. Oh wow, Hype's hand is awful.
Yeah, Height's hand is as bad as it gets. I mean, he does have the Loatheb, so that's one piece of the puzzle assembled. At
Okay.
least he's going to be curving on turn 3.
He got the shades, that's good.
Alright, now he only has to find a powdered shredder, and then his curve is looking pretty godlike actually past that point.
Second Enchantment.
That's not
Well,
quite
still one more chance to draw something really good. Wow, Violet Teacher, that's a great draw. That's one of the best minions you can get against a druid.
Yeah, because before turn 6, he can't really deal with the teacher and the tokens. He swipes and hero powers on turn 6, but before that point, it's really, really difficult.
So I really like coining out the Violet Teacher here. He basically puts Hype into a position when he has to use a Keeper or a Wrath,
trade the
and
shade at
does
the same
nothing.
time. Well, I can smell the Loatheb. I can smell that Loatheb to lock down the progression of Kolento's Rogue at the moment. It's not even to win. It's not really using the Loatheb as an offensive body or to seal the game. It's just to stop Kolento a little bit.
But Kolento will go with a piloted shredder. I really like the preemptive attack on the Violet Teacher.
Yeah, then all you have to do is, top deck a swipe and you're good to go, right? Easy life.
Yeah.
The life of a druid.
Wild Growth. Well, that's kind of late to the party.
And Loatheb comes down and says, you know what? You're not playing spells on my watch. I mean, you could prep for 5. I think that's a great play. Actually, you can backstab for 5 in this position. Holy hell, I never thought I'd say that, but... Alternatively, I guess it's better to just Blood Mage and SI.
I thought about Blood Mage and SI, but he didn't go for that.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by this line of play for Kolento. We'll have to see exactly what he's got in mind. I think he's going to push the damage as much as he can.
There's a Keeper. Also too late to the party.
Everything's too late to the party for Hype right now.
So next turn, Ragnaros.
Yeah, Swagnaros is going to have to stick here for at least one turn, but there's a sap in Kolento's hand. So...
And he puts Kolento in a position where he has to use the... Well, never mind, he got the agent for that.
Yeah, that backstab. Whoa, Kolento saying thank you.
Is this the real Kolento?
Yeah, I think there's no webcam. Magic Amy confirmed.
He's from Canada.
Yeah. I'm back.
And that's actually why
right now.
That's why he said thank you, because Canadians are nice and they're thanking a lot.
He's based on what I can tell, he's currently located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Maybe that's the VPN talking.
Yeah, he's playing offshore. I don't know what's up with that tax evasion if he wins. I'm not sure what's going on here, guys. Can we do an investigation on Kolento? Something fishy is going on.
Wow.
Well, you thought Quartermaster was bad after a muster for battle. Have you ever seen a Drake double 3/3 against a Druid? And before Poison Seeds? Nope, that's not a Poison Seeds.
Poison Seeds and what?
It's Poison Seeds just to get 2/2s.
And face
instead of 3/3s and 4/4s.
Well, it hit the best minion, but still...
Yeah, but look at this. This is devastating.
Backstab eviscerated. GG.
Yeah, do you even sap? I was gonna say, like, do you just backstab eviscerate after
actually, you
Blood
can just sap, because you have 10 points of damage to the face with eviscerates.
Yeah, you sap, go face for 7, and then pretty much finish off your opponent next turn unless something goes awfully wrong on your end of the side, on your side of the board. You could even double eviscerate now if you felt like it.
Do you think so?
No, you could. I'm just saying. That way you're guaranteed to get the
dagger.
spell damage from...
Oh, yeah.
If there was a swipe, you would have seen it a little while ago, so Hyped has to get that swipe, I think, to do anything. Well,
so
sure, Drake. Oh, he's just gonna replay this, innervate, kill Blood Mage, and hope for a 3/3 to go
I was
down.
thinking about Ancient of Lore into drawing swipe.
Yeah, to kill 2 minions at once.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see what happens if one of those 3/3s die. Hyped will live. Actually, does he even live? No, he doesn't live. He's still dead. Never mind. GG.
Oh,
Noxious Slide.
Bing.
Yeah, Noxious Slide,
dead.
boys. This is Actually, wait. That's
3.
8, 11. He has actually with Tinker's Sharp Sword. That's actually exactly. Oh, that's a little over lethal. Because of the wait, what? Oh, he's
What's
prepping.
happening?
Okay. Yeah, he's doing all the preps and all the zero cost minions. Zero cost spells. Well, that was a pretty convincing game here, but that's typically what happens when druids don't get the curve and rogues get theirs. And better yet, I mean, Hype didn't really have the removal necessary to handle the very early Violet Teacher.
Yeah,
That on its own
That's
was
what
enough to seal the game.
that's what happened.
Everything was lining up perfectly, but he threw back the Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yeah, too bad, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's gonna pull off this win.
Veil's chosen. Okay.
Yeah, I love that card. It's actually a little on the broken side sometimes. Oh my god, do I see a turn 1 Shredder into a turn 2 Wild Growth?
Holy moly. Oh gosh.
Armageddon.
Do you play the turn 1 Natural Cleric?
Well, you're forcing some kind of
Well,
wrap
he kept
play
it, right?
somewhere. Yeah. Would have been an auto win in the first game. It's a pretty
It
good
doesn't-
hand. It's suddenly a lot less.
Exciting.
Yeah, let's put it that way. The turn 1 Shredder would have been devastatingly strong, but now that's not the case. So, and Kolento picked up an injured Blade Master Circle of Healing, which that is very strong for Priest. Arguably one of the best ways to handle some of the mid game for Druids, or even the early game in that case.
Oh wow. That doesn't look really good.
And you know what? Kolento picked up some of the best draws I've ever seen for a Priest. This is pretty much the nuts draw. Turn 2 injured Blade Master Circle with the Northshire up. I mean, it doesn't get better at all, and this is absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's
Oh
I don't
my
know.
goodness.
Oh,
How
wow.
do you even do this? Well, good luck, Hyped. You'll need it. I hope you're equipped to deal with this. I'm not. He'll need a really good turn 5 innervate play with the
I
Ancient
don't
of Lore.
know what can you do.
You
And he
hope for
didn't-
the best.
And he didn't even cast the Circle of Healing, so he's just playing greedy with the second Blade Master. Wow.
Well, that is a good game. Well, I'm exaggerating. I'm saying this, but it might not be. I have some experience in the Priest matchups, and I would venture to say the only way you're going to convincingly win against Priest in a very sturdy manner is generally through plays like these. So Hyped is going to be forced to play a little... man, his Shade is going to have to be played so much differently than he'd like. Can he really afford not doing so? Well, here's what he wants to see right now. A Doomsayer come out of that Shredder.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can salvage the situation, I think. Well, that's not it.
That's not it, but it's also not completely horrible. But then again, none of this is exactly what either... I mean, I feel like Hyped could be getting a pretty nice top deck to help, stabilize a little bit. But with this Light Warden coming up, you've got another threat to handle.
I don't think you have any kind of way of dealing with those injured Blade Masters.
Okay, that's not too bad. Well, for the time being, it looks pretty grim, but there are swing cards with Druid that can be found sometime in the mid game.
Well, you have to play the low tip, right?
There's really no other way, because that way it can't get Shadow or Deathed. It's guaranteed to at least deal damage. You can combine that damage with a Keeper of the Grove to get a kill on one of
You
the
have to
injured.
draw a swipe next turn.
Yeah, you're hoping. Very, very much hoping.
Well, does the swipe even matter? I don't think so. Not really. Because it's still 5 points of damage, so one Blade Master will be left at 1 HP.
Alright, well, let's see what's going to happen here. I mean,
It's
the
like
Druid
a
is taking-
double Twilight Drake opening for Handlock. it's even
That's
better
exactly
because
what it is, but better.
you can't even keeper those.
Yeah, and it draws you cards, so it doesn't get much better than that. So you silence the Belcher, I guess, and then you attack into that 4/5 and play the Zombie Chow. But then... Man, you know what? If that first hand would have been... I mean, that first game looked so promising. If Kolento hadn't picked up the wrong deck, this would be an auto win for Hyped, almost. It would have felt... It would have been a much different outcome. So we have to see here how Hyped is going to be handling the situation. He needs to find a swipe very, very soon.
I don't think that will even rescue him. I'm thinking about the possibilities of what can you do, and well,
okay, he plays Akanai Soul Priest. You play Shredder. Your Shredder dies. He has Sylvanas. Your Shredder spawns Mistress of Pain. You give him Mistress of Pain, and then he dies.
yeah.
That's good, right?
You even Cabal Shadow Priest the Zombie Chow instead of Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah, because you got Akanai.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do, I guess. But then you have to trade... I don't know if you do, really. Wild Power Master looks like... I mean, Cabal Shadow Priest on 2/4
Well,
looks good enough.
Okay.
He's just gonna ping face and... with the... He can use Light of the Naru as an offensive card next turn. Oh, man. Yeah, swipe would be nice, but not a lifesaver. You have to almost play Ancient of Lore for heals at this point, as terrible as that sounds. Oh, man. Then Shadow Word Death would wreck you, so you really can't do it. Just kind of unfortunate that he's stuck in this position of having to draw cards when his opponent is facing him down with 10 damage. All right. I think there's
Shadow
a
Word
pretty...
Death?
Wait, how much damage there's... Wait, is that lethal? No, it's almost lethal. It's close to lethal, though. It's a very, very close to lethal turn. But not quite there. He's 2 off. I was gonna say Holy Nova steals the game, but he's 1 mana off of doing it.
Yep. Well, that was fast. You have to say that. Like, the game...
Yeah, I've never seen a
Basically.
Druid deck come out like this.
This is the thing. This is the thing I was talking about, like with the warrior, right?
Yeah.
Basically, the same happened.
Yeah, the exact same thing happened earlier. We were expecting Druid to win this most of the time, and ultimately that didn't work out at all. So, admittedly, like in the bigger picture, would probably prove
Big Game Hunter might have no value at all.
well. You have to put Kolento on the possibility of a handlock, and even some mid-range warlocks do run giants. So I think keeping the BGH is a safe play. In worst case scenario, it's gonna get you a Mal'Ganis in the mid-range lock at some point.
Well, we saw today. Who was that? Who was playing that warlock with the Molten Giants and Dread Infernal? And
That was Strife Crow, yeah.
oh yeah, that was Strife Crow.
Yeah. Well, so far, it's looking like it could be either of them, but I would venture to say that Ancient Watcher is kind of telling me it's more likely to be a handlock. But then again, both decks have been known to run a similar array of cards. Until I see that Mountain Giant, I'm not convinced.
For now, we see the Cookie Cutters cards.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, Iron Beak Owl with Dog Bomb would be really insane here, but that's not the case. So you just go
Yeah.
with Ancient of War. I'm sorry, Ancient Watcher.
Yeah, you set up that a pretty good board. I mean, you've got the Owl. You don't really have to use it offensively besides Sylvanas against a Druid. So,
Well, Zombie Chow is not something you want to draw in this situation. Mm,
do you Wrath for card draw? Or do you keep that for a keeper play on a Twilight Drake?
I think you should just go aggressively. You have a swipe. One swipe kind of, gets you the additional reach to finish the
Right.
game, but you're lacking the Savage Roar, which is even more potent than Force of Nature.
Yeah. What I like, though, is that he's got the BGH, so if he made a good read, and this is, in fact, handlock, which so far, we just don't know. Although this is looking way too much like Handlock to not contain giants, I'd say. I mean, when you're tapping so many times, I haven't seen Nerubian Egg so far. That's one of the telltale signs that you're facing a mid-range Warlock, is Nerubian Egg generally pops up every time.
Oh, second pilot, sure. That's quite nice. But do you want to...
Get Shadow Flamed? I don't know. That's the question, isn't it? Do I want to get Shadow Flamed? Let me ponder that.
Well, I think you have to play the second one.
Yeah,
What
because
is
if
it?
Shadow Flame hits, I guess Dark Bomb is the only thing that really bothers you. Like, Shadow Flame, Dark Bomb is the only way for the... I guess Iron Beak Yellow Shadow Flame is also not too bad.
There's the giant.
Giant number 1 detected. Will it get value? So there's the Iron Beak Owl.
And
There's the Shadow Flame. That's gonna be a
And what's
fight
the
for the
outcome?
board.
That's
Alright,
not bad. That's not
that's
bad.
pretty good. Oh, oh man. Wait, do you get
can,
Rag
you can
out?
just play Rag. And, I mean, coin, Rag, innervate, hero power, kill the 2-1, go face, your opponent is at 9. And you like the finish. Because there's a...
Yeah. You can't do that when you don't have the killing blow, right?
Yeah,
you need to do this
exactly.
when you have the at least like the Force of Nature Savage Roar, at least Force of Nature. But without any of those, this is gonna be a pretty awkward turn.
Kolento is at
Hype.
6 points of mana, so if Hype thinks like I can coin out the Ragnaros, kill the 2-1 with my Shrinkmeister, and then get Kolento to 12, then he can't play.
Yeah.
He can't play both Siphon Soul and a Molten Giant. But it's still really weak. So just play.
It's funny how psychologically it feels less bad when you actually innervate coin Rag than when you play Rag and then innervate hero power.
He goes for it. Wow.
Well, that's a high pressure play. He's thinking to himself, if the Molten Giant falls down, you know what? I don't really care because I have the BGH, so I'm going to press
Yeah.
for damage and hope everything goes well. And if that Rag lives... Well, I think you could just keep the grove your own Ragnaros, and then you attack into the Giant.
But there will be no giant. There was double Molten Giants for Siphon Soul. Because you're dead only to...
Only two, yeah, you're pretty dead actually right now.
Well, you will have 12 points of HP, and it's turn 8, so you only will see like double swipes, and that's the only lethal you can get, right? It's 11,
Yeah,
so that's not
11,
even
you're
lethal.
not even, yeah.
And you saw
still fine.
innervate, so you're almost sure there's no second innervate.
Let's just say you're not playing around combo. Alternatively, there's a decent reason to maybe Molten, anti-Healbot Sunfury instead of Siphon Soul, because at that point there's so many good targets on the board. There's so many targets for Ragnaros on the board that it doesn't really feel that terrible. He does go for that.
Definitely the best outcome here.
And now,
There's the Savage Roar. But
so
there's...
do you silence off your own Rag to kill one of those giants?
I don't think you can manage to pull that off. You have
You
to
can't
play...
really justify it.
So
You
Big
BGH
Game
swipe,
Hunter-
maybe.
Big Game Hunter, and you're lacking 1 point of mana to kill off second giant with hero power. That sucks.
Yep. You're just short of the mana.
What about silencing one of the giants?
And then BGHing the other one and going face.
Yeah.
If Rag hits face,
It's very risky. and I don't think
it's
worth
so risky. You're going all in on a play that might not work. But I guess if you're going to be pushing for damage very aggressively, there is a good argument to be made. I mean, you could always just Savage Roar here and trade into the second giant.
it. Imagine there was no top deck.
Yeah, Molten. This would have
Yeah.
been very different. I don't mind the Savage Roar here. You Savage Roar and you kill the giant with your Shrinkmeister, right?
Yeah, I think
That
that's one of the best options.
Well, that's another alternative as well, where you reduce the number of targets for Ragnaros, and as a result, You might get yourself a little bit of damage output, and if stuff lives on this board, you might get a good Savage Roar. And face. That is semi good, mind you.
Yeah.
That is currently semi good. So Siphon Soul.
Siphon Soul and kill off Big Game Hunter and kill off Shrinkmeister, right?
Yeah, I think there's no argument. You've got to be removing those minions off the board as they are.
Next turn you can heal yourself with Lord Jaraxxus.
Yeah, and then you're out of range of pretty much anything the druid can do.
Yeah, so...
Unless things change, but I doubt it. Well, that was a really clutch Molten Giant here. That was a really crazy one. Doesn't mean Kolento couldn't have been able to stabilize, but that was a crazy one.
Yeah, you have to kill that dude. Ancient of Lore.
And out comes a card. It's gonna give Hype the possibility of top decking something relevant, possibly.
Oh,
that
that's
is
not relevant. Yeah.
Speaking of relevant, that is not it. And now you're gonna start seeing Infernals drop. Yeah, you probably don't play Void Caller here. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yeah. But then...
So what about...
Go face with everything. Yeah, just go full face, I guess. But then if he's got combo, you lose the Giant and then you die. And so you have to trade the Giant away.
Yeah, you have to kill the Ancient of Lore because that will be exactly equal.
Yep, 15. So we're gonna have to see what Hyped manages to find here. I like this Azure Drake and the Wild Growth. Wait. Actually, you do it. You have Keeper afterwards.
You do it. And then you finish off with Keeper. No! Hyped, what are you doing?
He doesn't see the opponent's hand. He might be thinking he might have some more healing. But I think this is a good turn to go full all-in at this point. You've got to take that chance. No. You know what? This is not bad. This is also not bad at all. It's still fine. But I think that would have been a much more aggressive line of play. Double Drake is as good as it's going to get. And you know what? The lethal might still be achieved.
Yeah. Now this is intense. So Inferno and defend the
Vargas. Coil, I guess. Do you want to get the coil?
I think you do. Oh, Void Caller.
Doesn't want to get the coil.
So you don't kill any of those?
I mean, that seems really risky, but it's looking like that's his line of play, and he goes for it. This could be very punishable, and I think, in fact, it's going to get heavily punished.
So is that lethal? If that will be Rev or second?
It doesn't matter. He's got combo. Does it matter?
Wait. You kill one of the... One trans goes to the 3-4. Then you use...
Two of them to the other one, and then you've got lethal with hero power, but you're one short.
No, one short. That's 14.
Well, you have Swipe and Keeper. Do you really care? I mean, you've got to do it.
Well, the Swipe deals 6 points of damage now and 3 points of AoE.
So swipe the 7/7 and hit it with your face.
That feels...
That's just kind of mediocre, but I guess at the same time you could swipe face, attack the 3/4 with your hero power, and then trade a Drake into the 7/7.
What about...
Okay, I think this is the play. Maybe swipe face, then trade a 4/4 into the 7/7, and your face into the 3/4.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can even play the Shade on the back of that for even safer Force of Nature Savage Roar.
Now, I wanted to say about silencing the 7/7.
And then swiping? Yeah, you can still do it, and you're going to be able to get...
And then you kill... Oh, well, wait, we are not thinking about the Void Color, so... Yeah. We know that there's no demon. Yeah,
what's the... It's so easy as a caster to get carried away by the information you have. But if you put yourself in your opponent's shoes, suddenly, in the player's shoes, suddenly things are very different. But still, Hyped is in a dominating position in this right now, and...
So, Hyped made the best call. I think that was the best possible thing you could
From his perspective, definitely.
From his perspective, yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Heal bot needs to be found, but it wouldn't even do anything.
Dread Infernal.
What is going on? That is the second Dread Infernal we've seen today.
Well, someone had to play that on a stream and made like a huge impact.
Well, I mean, I guess they're both on the same team, C9. So Strifecrow and Kolento might have been sharing information about the whole Warlock deck list. And that will equalize the series. 2-2. Hyde
was
versus
a
Kolento.
really interesting match.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, usually decks like hands like these don't really. I think the Ancient of Lore that Hyped got when he was running out of steam is the exact card he needed to maybe fetch for lethal, because that's important.
Yeah, exactly. And it even has a pyroblast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the
So
pyro value.
this should be quite an okay matchup for Hyped.
Well, yeah, it's a lot better than it seemed like initially. I mean, Mech Mage would have been a pretty tough one for him, but Lock is a lot more manageable, and now we see the Mal'Ganis confirming that this is, in fact, Demon Handlock, essentially, the hybrid between both decks. And Hyped will be able to wipe this board multiple times over.
Yep.
It's going to be a bit tricky for Kolento to handle.
What's the difference? And the Mal'Ganis is a difference because it can basically act like a ice block.
Yeah, and the thing is, much like Mountain Giants, you know, you ramp them out with your life tap. You get Mal'Ganis out with Void Callers, and essentially it acts as a ramp, a pseudo ramp, in effect, because you're not even paying the 9 mana, and you get a 3/4 on the board earlier. So that gives you 2 Drakes and 2 Void Callers for turn 4, more consistently. And you're not, you know, you're never going to top deck a dead Mountain Giant late game. Worst case scenario, you at least get a Void Caller.
That's true. Also, the Void Caller is really great against board wipes.
Yeah, set it up when you expect your opponent to just go.
And then you go for free Mal'Ganis.
Yep. Well, that's not a bad turn. You could just do it now because Freeze Mage doesn't even have the Fireball yet.
And there's no silences. There are no silence, right, in the Freeze Mage deck, so you can't deny that. If Kolento will not draw, an example, a Jaraxxus next turn, this might be really tricky.
Mad Scientist is doing some work, punching Kolento in the face for 4 total damage.
What do you think about Hellfire this turn? You go into Mad Scientist and the Hellfire, and then
You get yourself the instant Mal'Ganis.
yeah.
If you had an Iron Beak Owl, maybe I'd consider it. You know how frustrating it is as a mage when your opponent plays Mal'Ganis as you're about to one-shot him because you set up Alex?
I bet.
It's the most frustrating thing.
What to do? What to do?
Well, Ice Barrier's set up. He's pretty much set on Secrets right now. I mean, he's not really worried about any of them.
You can't really play Doomsayer plus Nova, right? So
You could do it next turn. You go Frostbolt on the Void Caller, force the Mal'Ganis out, and then you
so
can
you just
play
play Doomsayer, just like without anything. Mad Scientist has no value at all.
Yeah, but what you're getting is not discarding your hand, essentially.
That's true.
I don't think Kolento would silence that Mad Scientist. I really
No,
don't.
no, for sure not.
I really don't see the point of that.
So you want to keep the Void Color alive, right? Because you want to keep it as a
Insurance.
yeah, just as a way to get something out after the board clears. Oh, he will silence it. That's interesting.
Well, that's going to give the Doomsayer quite a bit more value than it would have otherwise had, I can tell you that much. I think Kolento is spinning hyped on playing something unorthodox. But Hyped is playing the most classical Freeze Mage deck I've ever seen in my life. And he's just going to set up the Mal'Ganis Nova next turn with a good ping.
Well,
he's...
Kolento has to keep the anti-kill bot after Alexstrasza, right? And the Molten Giant is dead card. So Big Go Hunter is also dead card. What can you do here? That's also dead card. That's not looking good at all for Kolento.
Yeah, silencing the mad scientist, I think, was a really odd decision.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm still trying to figure out what it was aiming to achieve. Now you're just ping and Nova Doomslayer, right? You've seen one owl. You've got to be rejoicing.
Well, your opponent will siphon soul the Doomsayer, right?
Yeah. No, it's a definite thing, but you're pretty happy to force him to react to this because you've got a Blizzard Doomslayer after this. So unless he finds another soul or Shadow Flame with some kind of
Or
power
second
well
owl.
mission,
Yeah.
yeah, he needs to find an answer right now.
Dr. Boom for 2 points of mana, being wrong. You deal not
What a-
damage to yourself, that's quite nice.
Yep. And what I really like about Dr. Boom in this matchup is when it's used properly, and it, by good players,
Oh,
it generally.
what
Well,
about-
never mind the
What about
Doomsayer.
Flame Strike?
Yeah, you just freeze and you pass, I guess. You could just throw Doomsayer because you haven't really seen your second Nova. But
Well, that was okay. If something happens to the Doomsayer, then you Flame Strike, right?
exactly. You're going to be getting yourself the board wipe no matter what. And Kolento's going to be having to react here. Life tap for free. Take advantage of that ability from Mal'Ganis. But now he's on too many cards. Do you just throw down the Sludge Belcher to get a slime back? Such value. No, you call your own minion for card draw, and then you have to discard another thing.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
coil yourself, I guess. I don't even know. Just coil something. You could play Belcher for the slime. I don't even dislike that.
yeah,
but it's so weird.
It is okay.
Kind of like throwing Tyrion on the board when it's about to be wiped.
Well,
Except now you're getting trash.
Oh, wow. I just wanted to
That
ask
is
if
insane.
he's playing Antonidas because he kept the coin when he had the option to, play something different the turn with a coin.
How does Kolento handle this?
I don't know.
I don't
know,
see
man.
any answer in his hand right now.
I don't think there's a way out.
I have the perfect macro for this on my keyboard. It does escape concede very, very quickly, 0.3 seconds.
Life tap concede,
You don't even life tab.
prep concede, and coin. There's
don't
no
even-
way you can win this game anymore.
I feel like the Iron Beak Owl play from Kolento was a complete disaster. I keep thinking back on it, and I feel like that was a big mistake.
He could have just killed the mad scientist with his Drake, right? And that's basically it. To deny the secret, because basically
Secret,
that was
yeah.
the same outcome. There were
Yeah,
two
there were
secrets
two
out.
secrets on the board, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what Kolento
Well-
was thinking at that point.
This matchup is really, really hard for the Warlock anyway, so
Yeah.
maybe it didn't really matter at all in the big picture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving myself